John Scott Brown with Green Wind and other home energies. This is what we used to call the green machine. It was a prototype. If we sit there and we look at polarity, we got a magnet right here. Notice how it's trying to stand up, and as I move over here it wants to turn and roll. So, there we go. We have it sitting here. If this is a north, then this is a south, a north, and a south. So at each one of these lugs, the way I had it set up, which would be north, a south, a north, and a south, that means both of these are at north and both of these are at south, and so isn't the other rotor. So I did mark it, but I painted over it. And I painted over it on this one as well. So I'm going to go ahead and test on the other rotor to find out which one's north and which one's south. Well, to make things easy, I painted with a paint marker. I painted one end of this magnet red. That makes it easy to identify and keep after. It doesn't matter if it's north or south. Let's pick this one. Set her down. Well, red is down. Red is towards that magnet. So I want the flux to continue to go that way. So if that's a north magnet, I want a south magnet at this end. So the flux would continue to go all the way through. Well, the red is sticking to this. On the same lug, when I put the other magnets and align them here, if that one's, the red is facing that, when I stick it to the other rotor, I want this side here to stick to it, not the red side. So I'm going to do that now and mark it. That way I have it. Okay. Well, there we are. Now that's set up, I'm going to go ahead and mark that. This one goes with this one. And just because save a lot of time, we'll double check. This is the red end of the magnet, which means it should be sticking there because I want the polarity to stay straight in a straight line. Sounds good. Alright, let's get to it. I've put these nuts on here and I brought them down part way. See, I didn't drill jacking holes and thread that for jacking this rotor down, and you don't want to try to let it down with your fingers. So basically what we want to do is we're going to take a wrench and we're going to turn those nuts. Hopefully I won't have to heat and bend a wrench, but if we do, then we'll have one for the future ones. There we are. Just a little tight. Okay. There we go. Well, I can tell I got a long way to go. To take this down a bit, I've got a 3/4 wrench right here. And I believe I can do it through the holes here. Spin that down a ways. Is this one loose? No. This one is. Spin that down a ways because I know we get a lot closer because it's not pulling yet. That's pretty good. One right here. Well, this one here is pressing down on it. Just yes, this will work. And we got it loose. I'm going to drop that down a little bit. About the same distance as the others. Knock it down a little bit farther. Matter of fact, I'm going to take that down a ways. Because I know they get closer than that without slamming together. Putting your hand on the other side, probably not a good idea. But I'm a long ways from the stator. That was a little tight. There we go. That one's ready to move. Yeah. This one I think it just got some paint or something in it. You see, I'm sticking it in this way, then I'm sticking it in this way, and I'm able to move it a little bit, then come in over here, move it a little farther, and then move it a little farther. And then I can start the process over again. It takes quite a few turns, but now I think it's past that hard spot. Sure. From here on down, you want to be real careful not to get your fingers up under this. Well, I can see right now it's starting to do a little bit of pull. There, it's going down a little more. Now we'll find out which one's touching. That one is, I think. Yep, that's loose. That's loose. Both of these are tight right now, so I'm sure it's pulling by the magnetism now. Get it to move. Got a bit to go. No matter how tempting and how fast and how much of a hurry you are, please do not put your fingers under this and try to lower it down. There is another method where you could use wood that's at a wedge shape and let it slide out, or several boards. That works too, I guess. Okay. I mean, this one here ought to be a little loose. Nope. And this just kind of jacks it down. Just adjust the bottom ones, and all you got to do is tighten the top ones. You won't have to worry about these free floating and moving adjustments on you. And just like we did the other one, you just jack them down a little bit at a time till you get your gap where you want it. That's rocking back and forth. This one looks to be the highest. There we go. Oh, that's loose. That's loose. Now when I get down about this far, I think a good thing to do is to measure, not with a steel ruler, but with any other ruler. Measure and check your distance to see which is your high side and try to get them leveled out. Then you can go around turning each one of these a little bit at a time. I'm going to finish out and get down close to it, and then we'll start the camera again. Okay, well, I've got these all lowered down, and then when I got done, I tapped these at the very top to vibrate them and get them all down. Then I felt inside. After I checked this little edge right here, you find something that's an 1/8 inch, and you set it down, and it almost goes underneath the magnet. I go to the next one. Same thing. You go all the way around, and you find out just quite will not do there. And you might have to turn one of these nuts 1/12 of a turn or some small fraction to get it to where it's all even all the way around. And when you get it to where it's satisfactory and it all looks the same, then you can spin it real nice. And you notice this gap here, that white line that you see running across here is the white table behind it. You can see that gap doesn't change at all. Then you know this is true and spinning good. This is finished except for, like I said, you put your finger in here and push on these nuts in the direction that makes them go up here. That'll sit there, tighten them up and get them straight to the plate, and then it's time to put on your last 4 nuts. And this is complete as far as an alternator goes. To become a DC alternator, we'd have to put the diode bridge on, this is the positive side. This whole heat sink here is positive. This heat sink here is the negative one. I'm Scott Brown with Green Wind and other home energies. Many good things to you and yours. This way. And this one here. Rough spot. Okay. Ready to tighten. tighten this down. Doesn't mean that this plate didn't flex. So I'm not sticking this one on the nut here. I'm just using it as a brace, something to squeeze to. Hey, look at that, I can get a little more out of it now. Squeeze them down good, you don't want these to move. There we go. So put it on the next one. Put it on the nut, just on the all thread on this one, and on the nut on this one. There we go. And one last one to double check. Oh yeah. And that's it. This alternator is now finished. I'm Scott Brown with Green Wind and other home energies. Conclusion of the green machine. I hope you all enjoyed it. This is either going to go on the dual escapement. Looks like a huge pendulum, R head 100, which is Boomer's channel, mainly featuring his dual escapement and his search for free energy. It's going to go on that. He also has a VAWT on the roof, but his town says, no, can't generate electricity by the wind, which I think is against our rights. But the town has an ordinance, but he's just basically to test it. Is about all that's going to do. And we might play with that a little later on, but it sure is a beautiful unit. You can't keep them from making a whirligig. A whirligig doesn't generate electricity. But there are other forms of energy that you can get off the wind. Anyway, he can generate electricity off his dual escapement if he so wishes, and I hope you enjoy it. It's R head 100. I'm Scott Brown with Green Wind and other home energies. This is what we call the green machine, dual permanent magnet rotor axial flux wind turbine, which we believed was capable of about 850 watts and a 20-mile-an-hour wind. When I did all the equations, we figured up about an 8-foot prop, and that would have been really nice. But anyway, we'll get back to the dual permanent magnet rotor axial flux wind turbine, and I hope you enjoy that. I've got quite a bit done on it. I still need to make the tail and need to carve the prop. You take care, and many good things to you and yours. God bless. Stay safe. It sure has been fun up here at Boomer's. He's got a lot of nice toys. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. In a few weeks, I believe Boomer's coming down to my house. Now that's going to be fun.